Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here, bringing you a review from 1988, Cheerleader Camp Horror, or Cheerleader Camp. It gets a 4.7 on IMDb. Now it gets a 5 from me because I thought this movie was so laughable and some good practical gore effects, and that's the only reason I'm giving it a 5. So basically, cheerleader camp is a camp for cheerleaders to come together and compete, and the winner can go for the nationals. We're followed. We're following this cheerleader group. Um, Usually consists out of five girls and two guys. The guys are usually the ones who pick them up, and throw them around, and one mascot. The mascots have a separate competition. In our case, it's an alligator. Um, you also so Betsy Russell plays Allison. That's our main girl, that we're our final girl, meant to believe, and leave Garrett, her boyfriend Brent. Oh my god! Now you also have a guy. I didn't even write his name, but I have a name for him, Fatso Lardo. Now, this guy has his underpants. You can fit six people in there. And I wouldn't laugh at that because I used to be really fat, but this guy is obese and an asshole. He's a pervert and an asshole. And Brent is not only a pervert, but he's an ugly son of a bitch, and he thinks he's Adonis. He has the Adonis complex. He's a cheater, a lech. He cheats multiple times in front of his girlfriend. He doesn't care. And he has this blonde curly hair, but with balding spots here and here. At some point, he's standing. That's something I so despise. Tidy whities. Ugh. I remember as a young kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, that I worn those, but with white tidy whities, nice pea stain. I mean, I immediately went to boxer shorts, nice loosey goosey down there, right? um, Now, there's several moments they have a break time. They go to this rock formation and there's water, so they can swim and sunbathe. And the fat guy's always filming or taking pictures. And at some point, two girls, the slut of the group, and then another girl that's from another cheerleader group, but seen as the winner of this entire game because she's one of the most notable notable cheerleaders, apparently. She takes out her boobs out of her bikini, and I have to say they're beautiful girls, beautiful boobs, but this movie is, by the way, boobs, 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 and not and and at some point I thought I was watching a softcore porn movie, but no, it's the slasher template, naked girls, but more naked than killing. So it's in reverse. Um, she's sitting on her forwards and starting to jiggle her tits, and then another Allison comes in. Who's that? Come out! And then the Fatso Lardo comes out in this elaborate costume of an old woman with a wig and a butterfly net. Hello, I was just looking for some nice butterflies to catch. I was looking for nice breast butterfly that's flying around here. And they completely tear him apart. And and multiple times he gets caught and he falls from those cliffs. He gotta hurt himself into the water. It's like a big ball of jelly just falling from from the cliffs. And like I said, his underpants, 6 people at least. Then when they arrive, he does also this stunt. He wants to moon everybody. Now, if you see his bare ass, it's like two comets trying to fuck each other. That's what you see. That's what it looks like. And then they fuck with him and put the window up with instead of no, not electronically but with the lever, and his ass is caught. He can't get out, and the flaps. Oh my god. Now Allison is really frustrating. If she's a final girl, she is moaning and she has these nightmares. She has these surreal nightmares. She, she she's insecure. She's naive because she lets Brent get away with everything, even to a point where Brent goes for the slut cheerleader of the group and just says, "Let's go to somewhere we can fuck." Oh, why not? Weren't she's there, Allison? How dare you, Mr. fucking Ugly Joe? I'm gonna call him Ugly Joe so you know that. Ugly Joe for him and Fatso Lardo for the fat guy, okay? Now, eventually she backs out and he's angry, goes away. And then we get her first kill. She goes away, she goes back to camp, and we get a cool shot. Uh, respect where respect is due, right? This following hedge clippers following, and here's her head, and it's following her, and then fletch through her head out of the mouth. And I swear she had eyes, lenses on, looking like demon eyes. She's like, but those her other eyes. Those she didn't have those eyes. A really demon eye. I mean, like greenish with a small pupil, creepy. Now she's not the first to die. The first to die is the one that was on all fours, wibbling, jiggling her boobs. He's also, she was also the girl when Brent gets out of the car, immediately goes to that girl and starts to flirt with her in front of Allison. And the thing is, Allison always forgives him and then hugs him. I need a hug. And then he's, oh, but I see somebody else. I mean, he's such an asshole. Such an asshole. Now, that girl that I said, that the boob girl, she is found dead, presumably suicide. Now, it's probably the killer who made it look like a suicide. Now, what would you do if you find somebody like that? Call the police, call a coroner, make a statement, right? Get the body away for the family to see, to mourn. No, they put her between the patties and the meat in the kitchen in a plastic bag. Okay, Didi, that's the leader of the camp. I call her the ice queen because she's an icy bitch. She Allison finds the body and she calls the sheriff, and sheriff says, "Why in the hell did you keep her like that? Did you want to serve her in the stew? And she was like, oh, I was afraid I'm gonna lose my job and I need that job. Who cares? Who fucking cares? You don't keep a body hidden. God's sakes. The she says, let's go to my my cabin. She goes with the sheriff to the cabin. Apparently they have a fuck agreement. So they can fuck when she does something wrong. And she does a lot of things wrong. And she they always have this cosplay thing where she dresses like a cheerleader and he's in his underpants with a football and he's pretending to be a quarterback going to left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and then eventually going in the target, which is between her legs, and he's like, he's like, give it on, get it, get it, and she's like, oh, and, and Fatso Lardo is filming it. So they take her back by when she's having a speech in the main hall, and an actor that comes familiar to me is George Buck Flower. I recognize that name. I think is because I know John Carpenter used one or two guys that he used in almost all of his movies, and like in Amount of Madness, when Sam Neill in the beginning of the movie is interrogating this guy, that guy, but he also had a vagrant, a janitor of a school. Yeah, I'm not sure if that guy is that, but he's called Pop. He's the caretaker. So he puts it on. Everybody sees her fucking like a banshee, and we go to the competition. So first, the mascots. Now it's clear that Corey, our mask, because she's the only likable character in the movie. She tries to keep Allison from drugs. She tries to comfort her, but give her advice. She is the most sane and not self-centered character of the movie. Now, now you also have one cheerleader, blonde. I don't know her name. Didn't wrote down all the names of the cheerleaders. Let's call her Blondie. She's a nice one. And Allison is also nice, but she, like I said, insecure and naive. She does a great job. She should have won, and because she had an altercation with Dee before that, she didn't win. She's super angry, of course. And the reason why this altercation happened is because the mascots get a break to eat, and they have to eat with their masks on. Now, how in the hell she has a sandwich? How in the hell she's an alligator, right? The mouth it's closed. The only thing is the nostrils are open, but she can't fit it in. How can she eat? So she takes her mask off, and of course, Diddy's like, "You put your mask on." Uh, yeah, fuck that, she says. Now, now our group comes on stage. They have to because even when they lost one, now all these groups did a fine job. The men too. They throw in the air and this and that, do some tricks. Now, normally Ugly Joe and Fatso Lardo did also these lifting tricks went during training. Now they're doing just this. No, 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 no. That's the only thing they're doing, and the cheerleaders are acting hard. They're doing everything they can. At some point, Fatso Lardo goes a little bit too far. He falls over Pop, an 400-pound whale, and he's like, of course, angry Pop, and he's laughing. They just lost the competition. They made a fool of themselves, and he's laughing. Ah, I toppled over the geek. And then eventually they find Dee Dee gets an axe in a cleaver in the back, and they find all the dead bodies. And Brent, because one of the cheerleaders after the loss goes out, and she gets hit with the minivan where they came in with, and she's like in half or almost in half. You see the guts. It's a cool, again, cool practical effect. They see this. Brent says, "Everybody, there's a killer on the grounds. Everybody, leave calmly now." Instead of they do the opposite and just run away, and in 5 seconds they're just with five left. Yeah, Corey, Ugly Joe, Fatso Lardo, Blondie, and Allison. So they want to take the van, but the van has been tampered with. Lines are being were cut, so they can't use it anymore. So they're gonna hike in the midst of the night. Now the sheriff is already on his way. Now they are gonna, but even if he's on his way, they're gonna hike 40 miles in the dark in the woods. Then at some point, Pop, he's also there. He's still there because he was asked to look for these girls. He also found one dead, and he took a shotgun, again a two-barrel shotgun, which I never will understand that that's the preferred weapon of each of these movies. It's weird. Two shots and you're done. So he sees the five people. He says, "You go back to camp." He fires in the air, being menacing like, but he's just saying they have to go back to camp and wait it out. I'll handle it. He eventually doesn't. He gets killed. Don't remember how he I think he just gets a knife in the back or something. Yeah. Now when they're going back, they're all going a little bit in different distances, different way. They all go in a different way, and Fazzolardo falls over again. The guy doesn't have any stability. He falls over like again with a pants that's like, Steve Urkel, that series for the black boy who put his pants until here. Well, Fazzolardo has his pants up to there, and he's following. And he takes a camera and he sees, oh, that's a cool line. He starts to film. Oh, that's cool. And Brent says, let's go, let's go. No, I'll stay here. I'll come later. There's a killer. There's a guy with a shotgun. And what he eventually does is he puts the camera down. He starts to interview himself. He says, I need to drain the lizard. So he takes his dick out of his pants, starts to piss. So the rest comes back at camp. They eventually the tape recorder ends there. They look at it, and they see Fatso Lardo. And then when he drained the lizard, he gets an axe in the gut, and he gets ripped open. Cool practical effect again. Bye bye, Fatso Lardo. You will not be missed. And then they're trying to make a trap with a bear trap. And wires. Now the sheriff comes in. Who gets the bear trap in his face? You think the sheriff. Boom, he's dead. Okay. Now everybody is in panic mode. Just at that point, uh, we have four left. I'm getting Ugly Joe, Allison, Blondie, and Corey. Yeah, four left. Now, Ugly Joe, Brent, is drinking like a motherfucker. And he's sitting in front of the fireplace. And he's trying to have sex with Allison at that point. Corey and Blondie are sitting there too. And he's starting to get really aggressive, like a rapey fight. He's grabbing her hair like this. Come here, you fucking bitch. And eventually, Corey says, well, Blondie's gone. Blondie's gone. He says, okay, I'm gonna fall. And eventually she did that, but Blondie was really gone. And she did that to get him off of Allison. Now she gives him the gun from the sheriff, right? Oh, that's the way how Pop dies. He comes in and they shoot him with the gun from the sheriff. And then they have a few bullets left. They go outside. They see a telephone booth with a dead Blondie in there, and Brent, Ugly Joe, looking over it. And El- Corey says, "Now is your time. Now is your time." So this is a spoiler review, by the way. Sorry, I had to mention that, but it's free on YouTube. Watch before because there's a twist coming. That for me, the practical effects, the fact that I laughed out loud, and the twist ending gave this a 5 for me. Yeah, that's why. So if you don't wanna know the ending, who's the killer, look it up. It's on YouTube for free and Daily Motion. So um, she says, "Okay, you got a few seconds. We don't know what he's gonna do. So fire if he comes towards. Fire immediately." So she gives the gun to Allison. She goes behind the corner and she's ah. They shot Ugly Joe. You will never be missed. Um, and eventually the police comes. Now what happened is, and here's the twist: who is the killer? Allison? Because Brent? No, because he's dead. Or he was a killer, but they killed him. No, the killer is Corey. And the killer, Corey basically manipulated Allison to be the goat. The scapegoat. She framed her that because of her mental state, she she gave the weapon to her. She's the killer. And Corey gives a statement. And the reason why Corey did that was because she wanted to be number one. Corey wanted to be number one, not a mascot. She wanted to be a cheerleader. And then we get this when everybody's driving away, we get Corey standing on a ridge, saluting all the cars that go away in a cheerleader outfit with pom poms. Yeah, yeah, who, here's Corey, and then movie ends. So Corey's a killer. Killer never gets caught, and she gets what she wants. That's the movie. Like I said, I give it a 5 for practical effects. So a good laugh, and that twist ending. I like that. That killer frames Allison. It's like it's like those seven, like movie Seven ending. Okay, not in that degree with the chopped head of his wife, but where the killer basically has the last laugh. You know, that's sometimes that's refreshing. So like it's refreshing to see a found footage movie where one person survives, for example, as an example. Um, any case, if you like my channel, subscribe. I got before I wanted to end this video, I picked up a small news article, "The Lost Boys." That's I I wanted to review that. It's my one of my favorite. It's my with that and Fright Night. It's my favorite vampire movie. Cry, little sister, come to your brother. No, unchain your brother. You know. Um, okay. But apparently they're gonna make a so the movie had like three sequels. Very bad. Now three or two sequels, bad ones. Corey Feldman was in them, and in the very last one, Corey Haim is also in them, but he's a vampire, and he goes versus Corey Feldman. So, um, no, they want to make a remake of the original one. Oh my god, that's like making a remake of Jaws. Do you, do people want to see a remake of Jaws? What the hell is that gonna look like? What kind of characters are you gonna find that were so? The movie was lightning in a bottle. Finding characters to replace Hooper, Quint, Brody, and then the shark make it CGI because it's gonna be fake as hell. No, like the Meg, no. So that was a little extra news article I wanted to share that frustrated me. So, yeah, that was it. See you next time. Have a nice day. Adios.